Hello everyone. I'm Dr. Shivani Desai from Dr. D.Y. Patil Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Research. Today I'm here to discuss on the topic innovation in teaching pedagogy. There is a need to innovate the teaching techniques to generate the interest in the student population. So this topic will discuss these subtopics, that is syllabus completion should not be a formality, improve attentiveness in the students. We have to improve the academic performance of the students and converting knowledge into applications. The best teachers are those who show you where to look, but don't tell you what to see. This is a very famous proverb from Alexander, which is actually apt for a good teacher. So first of all, what is the need of education? We all know that the education sector is actually growing very fast and there is a huge competition between different states between different countries, and now we have to make our students who can represent themselves at international platforms. So before going to that, we first have to see whether the students are actually contributing towards the growth of the nation or not. So the main need of education is to make the human resource development. That is to develop the students into a responsible individual, which can actually contribute to the growth of the nation. Then the next step is we have to mold our new generation. So every new day comes with a new challenge, and therefore we have to mold our students accordingly so that they can actually compete in this competitive world. And of course, we have to impart knowledge through education. We have to impart knowledge, values, as well as the developing skills. We also have to make them understand the use of critical thinking skills. So they have to actually face the problems, and should be able to they should be able to actually solve the issues, the daily issues which they are coming across. So the need of the education towards the growth of the nation also includes the use of critical thinking skills. These are some of the learning objectives. First, globally competent graduates with strong fundamentals. Obviously, there is a very heavy competition. Every day, the competition is just increasing in all the sectors. So we have to make sure that our students are actually capable to compete, to face those challenges and to compete at the international level, at the global level. Then we have to inculcate strong professional ethics and values in the students, which can actually help them to become a very professional individual. Then committed and motivated graduates with research attitude. We have to inculcate the research environment in the students' mind so that they can come up with new innovative ideas and they can make use of those innovative ideas to build a good nation, to build a good platform for other people to work on. We have to also inculcate strong managerial and communication skills. Managerial skills are equally important. Teamwork is equally important, but the most important thing is communication skill. If we are not able to communicate, we will not be able to discuss our ideas on an open platform. So to develop communication skills in the students is actually very important. Then we have to develop their social being, scientific claims and experimental results, and development of political and cultural institutions. I believe that ethical values, along with strong communications, are required to develop the nation. Now, what is the need of the hour? The need of the hour is we have to inculcate all these properties, all these skills in our students. First of all, critical thinking. They have to stand out of the box, they have to think out of the box, and they have to stand as a unique personality. And for that, critical thinking is really important. Next is collaboration. We alone cannot do everything. So we need collaborations, and we have to inculcate this team player characteristic in our students so that they can further go and collaborate with other people and make new advancements. Adaptability is also need of the hour. Initiative should be taken. the students should be able to become entrepreneurs by themselves. Creativity and innovation is required. Communication is very important. Soft skills are very important. To generate curiosity is also the need of the hour. Personal management, this includes time management skills as well. Time management, work management, they have to manage the personal and professional balances also. So that is a need of the hour. Inquiry skills, technology skills are also equally important because every day we are coming up with new technologies and we have to keep updated. We have to make our students keep themselves updated with the new technologies. So the learning capability of the students should also be increased. Now, what steps can be taken to achieve those requirements? First is teaching techniques. That is very important. The major role of a teacher is to guide the student not only during their curricular years, but also after they are done with their degrees, after they go out of the institutions. The students, you should build such a rapport with the students that they actually come back and then they actually help you in building your skills as well as they take your help to build their skills. So teaching techniques are really important. Plus, teaching techniques should not be very boring. It should not be like same thing, like just take out a book and do all these chapters. This is your syllabus, and syllabus completion. You have to complete the syllabus. Syllabus completion is important. So just rush to the topics. No, it is not like that. Teaching technique should be such that you should be able to make the student understand, and then your student should be able to actually generate the ideas, and they should be able to uh, what do you say, practice those ideas, and they should be able to come up with the new innovative techniques based on your teaching skills. Then next step to be taken is interdisciplinary activities. So we have to collaborate with the different disciplines, and then we have to carry out the interdisciplinary activities. We should be updated with the current research, and our students should be updated with the current research. Practical knowledge is equally important. Hands-on training is equally important. Then there is a requirement of fresh classroom, means this four walls and blackboard or projector, that is not enough. We have to we have to build in new colors in the classrooms. Those colors can be achieved by putting up some new charts, then making the conversation between the teacher and the student very lively. It should not be a one-way communication. It should be two-way communication. The students should discuss with the teachers. The students should discuss amongst themselves. Next is nutrition and creativity. Obviously, we have to also take care that our students are actually having having good nutritious food, because nutrition is really important for their thinking capability. And as students, we have to actually, take care of such things, that we are eating properly so that our health is good. And because if the health is going to be good, only then we will be able to have a good brain functioning, and we will be able to make a difference to the society. Then we should be able to apply the subject knowledge. Just gaining the knowledge from the teachers is not enough, or as a teacher just giving the knowledge to the students is not enough. We have to actually apply the subject knowledge. That is important. So these are the steps which we can take to bring in the different generating new ideas in the students. Now coming to the innovative ideas to reinvent teaching methods. So now what all methods can we actually take what all methods we can actually inculcate during our routine day-to-day teaching practices to motivate the students and to bring some innovation in the teaching learning pedagogy. First is mind maps. These are some of the mind maps. So when we always say that what we hear, what we read, or what we see, all these things when come together, and what we create, that is the most important thing which we actually can which we actually can is more important actually. So what we create is more important than what we hear, what we read, or what we learn. So mind maps is nothing but collation of all the different things. Like for example, this first mind map, this is the mind map of a drug. Even So these are the mind maps which are created by my students about different drugs. So when we just take up a textbook and we just start reading in it that these are the side effects, these are the uses, these are the interactions, etc., etc., we tend to forget. Plus, it gets boring. So what we can do is instead we can make such good charts, which are also known as mind maps. We can actually make such colorful charts, and that will actually make us remember things more easily. And as teachers also, we should ask our students to make such good innovative charts. Next is application of subject knowledge and clear knowledge about future plans. So what we are studying today, how is it important? How much knowledge are we going to apply in our future plan? Like I am studying pharmacy right now, and then I take up a job in some IT sector as into some IT department. So it will not be so I will not be using my current subject knowledge, and my current subject knowledge and my future plans are not related. So we actually have to make sure that we are able to apply a subject knowledge, and we should be able to clearly apply those subject knowledge in our future plans. Okay. Then another more important and more interesting thing which we had experimented is entertainment in learning. So when we combine entertainment with our subject, so in that case it becomes much easier for us to come up with better understanding. So here, this activity was conducted in one of my pharmacology class where I asked my students to watch certain movies and take the gist out of it, and the gist should be related to pharmacology. So they actually saw a lot of movies. For example, this Lucy movie is one of the example which we have taken. Then one series which is known as Hostages. It was this activity was conducted before 2 years. So this was the series, the first part of the series Hostages. So they have seen certain movies, certain series, and then they have taken out the gist which is related to pharmacology, or which is related to the disease or the pathophysiology of the disease or the pharmacological treatment of that disease. So there they were actually able to understand the application of that drug in the disease state. Like for example, here they have used in this series they have used the example of this doctor who is using a drug to increase the heart rate of the patient. Okay, so these are some of the activities which we conducted in which we are conducting at our institute. Now these are some other techniques which includes creative teaching, like how well we can teach, what new flavors we can add in our teaching. That is really important. So in that case we should give examples from the real world. Okay, so during describing while describing any of the theoretical topic, we should actually correlate that with a real life case study, and we should then give an example of the real life case study, that in real world such things can happen and how you can tackle those situations as a pharmacist, as an engineer, as a doctor, right, or as an astronaut. So real time case studies, really correlating real time case studies is very important with your teaching, theoretical teaching. So theory and practical goes hand in hand, right? Models and chart I already told you. Then audio and video tools. What we hear and what we see, if we hear and see something together, that makes a very good impact on our mind. So taking audio and video tools together, like showing some videos or making some videos ourselves and showing the videos to the students, or using some already available video from the YouTube or other channels, so that can be able to from that will be able to inculcate the knowledge more clearly in the patient, in the students mind. Next is flip classroom. Flip classroom means we can actually flip flop the responsibilities. Like I can, like if I'm a teacher and I'm teaching my students, so in some of the classes my students needs to teach me some of the topics, so that can also be done. Like I'll give you my example. I have done my master's and PhD in clinical pharmacy, so then my animal handling is not that great. So when I was guiding my PG students, my PG student taught me animal handling, so I used to give them the clinical application base and they used to teach me the animal handling part. So This flipped classroom is really important. This can actually increase the confidence in the students' mind also, that yes, we can do something and we can actually teach something to other people. So flipped classrooms can be done at times. Debates can be oriented, because while doing a debate, the students actually have to think very hard, right? And then they have to justify with their logics. They have to justify with the examples, and this will be able to correlate the subject knowledge with the real life situation, and that will actually increase the skills in the students. Classroom quiz can be conducted, and group discussions. The students can do group discussions, which can actually help them uh, to go ahead with the teamwork and team building qualities, etc. Sometimes the classrooms should be taken outside the four walls. That actually helps. It is like Gurukul style we can do. Then next is project-based learning. So we have to tag all the theory with the practicals, with the practical scenario. So that is project-based learning. We can club some of the students and ask them to work along with their seniors, where their seniors are actually experimenting some of the things, and the juniors can actually see that exactly what they are studying, they will be doing this next year. So this project based learning is also important. Role play is also very good. So in the students who are learning literature, or this, even in case of pharmacy or medicine also, some case studies um role played. One person can be the patient, the other can be the doctor, the third can be the nurse, and one can be the pharmacist. So you can make a whole team and you can actually role play the whole case. Same things can be done in case of engineering as well, right? Next is stimulating classroom environment. As I told you, the classroom should be really bright. They should be colorful, and students and teachers can make this classroom colorful and bright with their own expertise, with their own skills. They can make this happen. We don't need a very hi-fi infrastructure for making a classroom by for giving a stimulating effect to the classroom. We ourselves can make the classroom stimulating. We can make the classroom vibrant with our own creativity. Then we also have to welcome new ideas. If some students are coming up with some new ideas, we should actually help them to to boost their confidence. Even you can help your colleague student to, like for example, you're working in a team. So one team member has come up with a good idea. The other team members should be what do you say? Helping each other. They should be supporting the team member, and this way the new ideas can be welcomed. Puzzles and games can be played based upon the theoretical subjects. Motivation about a new hobby can be given. Introducing lessons in a like a story is a very good thing. So subjects like history, literature, all these things can be introduced like a story. Okay, it may not be like read this chapter. No, it can be like a story. We can hear some podcasts related to our own subject, what we are studying. Then inquiry based learning, that this is same as the case study based learning. Moodles can be used, right? So all these techniques, apart from these techniques also, there are a lot of other techniques which we can actually come up with. So all these techniques can be inculcated in the routine teaching learning process. As a teacher, we should actually motivate the students. We should be able to bring out the best in our students, and as students we have to bring out our qualities, our skills, and we also have to motivate our colleague students, our classmates, and we have to coordinate with our classmates and the teachers to bring up a very good output out of the subject which you are studying. So there is another saying from Benjamin Franklin: tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn. So get involved in all the techniques, get involved in all the theory, try to convert your theoretical knowledge into practical knowledge, and that will actually be able, and this way actually you will be able to grasp a lot of things, you will be able to innovate a lot of things, and you will be able to make yourself a better individual. So together, the teacher and the student will be able to, as a team, will be able to bring out the best nationalities, the best people in the world, which will be who will be able to compete with the whole world, and they can make a difference nationally as well as globally. Thank you.